Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hey, Pete, how are you going to win in California? Latino decisions, without getting the Latino vote, Latino decisions poll this week said 49% of people had never heard of you.
Yeah.
And no opinion, and you're running 7th with 1% of the vote.
Well, what that tells us is that we have a huge opportunity here. We're not even known to a lot of voters who have a lot going on in their lives and have not been following the blow by blow of the nominating process like a lot of folks in this room. I believe that we have the right message for Latino voters about creating economic opportunity, about solving issues like healthcare, about reforming our immigration system, and I'm looking forward to sharing our story, as well as the story of how we've worked with our growing Latino community in South Bend and what that has taught me about how to make sure that life in this country is characterized by a sense of inclusion rather than fear for everybody living in the United States.
CNN, we just released a poll 1 minute ago that shows in Iowa with Des Moines Register, you in Iowa are in the lead at 25%, Elizabeth Warren at 16%, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders at 15%, Amy Klobuchar at 6%. You're leading by double digits.
How about that?
Or, I'm sorry, I can't do math. I'm sorry, I'm an Asian who can't do math. I meant 9%. So, what do you think? What's your reaction?
Well, that's extremely encouraging. We have, obviously, we have felt a lot of momentum on the ground, especially with the work that we've been doing, not just in terms of my visits to the state, but over 100 organizers there, building relationships, getting our message out. And even now, we know that we're not as well known as some of my competitors. So it's very encouraging, and at the same time, there's a long way to go. And there are a lot of states in this process, so I recognize the work that we've got to do, both to consolidate our gains and to make sure that I am earning every vote as we head into the caucuses and the primaries.
What do you think was the turning point? What is leading to that bounce in your assessment?
Starting with Labor Day, I felt a level of energy at the steak fry that told us that we had a chance to really connect. I think the debates have served us well. Our speech at the dinner recently was another chance just to lay out what I think so many Iowans and so many Americans are looking for. And that is leadership that can deliver big, bold answers to our problems and do it in a way that unifies, not polarizes the American people. I think that is the right answer for the country, and I think more and more voters are agreeing.
On the other hand, the other side of the coin is the other side of the Democratic Party is running largely on a progressive platform. You just got back from a fundraiser in Palm Springs. Why should the American people continue to vote for somebody who caters to big donors and big money?
Well, there are a lot of progressives in Palm Springs and every part of California that I have been to, and there are also a lot of moderates and even some people leaving the Republican Party who are embracing our vision for progressive change that's delivered in a way that can unify the American people. We have over 600,000 individual contributors in this campaign. I don't take corporate PAC money, but those 600,000 plus individuals are all part of this movement in order to deliver a better future for this country, and I'm proud to have that kind of support.
Several black leaders from South Carolina distanced themselves from your Douglas plan and said that it was very vague when you asked them to endorse it. Can you comment on that?
I understand some of the frustrations about how the rollout went. I will say that we believe that the plan is the right plan going forward, and we'll continue to engage leaders, especially black leaders in South Carolina, who we've been in dialogue with throughout in order to make sure that we've answered all the questions that we can about the vision going forward and done the right kind of engagement.
You're surging in Iowa, but we also hear from Democrats who say, I love it, he's best to be smart, but. And then you get people like Mike Bloomberg and Deval Patrick saying, maybe I better get into the race. And that concern is that you can't beat Donald Trump, even though you might win the nomination. How do you respond to that? And what will be the formula for that if you are?
Yeah, I am the best candidate to beat Donald Trump, and here are some of the reasons why. First of all, if you think about our history, every time my party has won the presidency in the last 50 years, certain things have been true of the candidate. It's been somebody who is new on the national scene, not seen as a product of Washington, somebody calling the country to its highest values and offering a new generation of leadership. I also think it serves us well that I am somebody who can speak for a part of the country where this president frankly stole a lot of Democratic support, that I come from the middle class, that I work on the ground, not in Washington, but in a community, and that I serve this country and can speak both to foreign policy issues and to the importance of American credibility that has been tattered by this president. I'm absolutely ready to go up against Donald Trump, but also, even more importantly, ready to gather the pieces together on that first day after Donald Trump leaves office and move this country in the right direction.
Mayor, when do you make a President Obama from South Carolina? What does that say, though, to African American voters who you've struggled with in the past, being able to trust you in the handling of police brutality? This is another example of some kind of discrepancy between you and African American leaders. So,
well, again, I'm proud of the many African American leaders from folks from South Bend who are traveling with us and supporting this campaign to people in South Carolina who have received the Douglas Plan so well. And if there's ever any confusion or communication issue, we're going to take care of it and make sure that we're getting that message in front of even more people, because the response has been fantastic. But I know, as somebody who's new on the scene, especially engaging voters who have felt abused by one political party and sometimes taken for granted by another, that trust and that familiarity has to be earned, and we'll be working toward that every day, and I welcome the opportunity to do that work.
Hey, Buttigieg, you are one of two veterans in the race. What would you do day one, foreign policy-wise, if you were elected president?
Well, the first job of the next president is going to be to restore the credibility of the United States. When we have a president who turns his back on our allies, when you have a president who short-circuits our own military justice system, to block justice for war crimes and accusations of war crimes, that undermines the very foundation of U.S. credibility and honor around the world. So in addition to the specific foreign policy steps we need to take in order to join with allies on counterterrorism efforts and ensure that we have the right kind of trade for the future that's going to serve Americans well, and pull together the country to confront climate change, there's a more basic and fundamental effort, and that is to send the message that America is a country that can be trusted. It will be my top priority in relating with our allies, and a message that will also go to our adversaries around the world.
All right, thank you.